Hi everyone, and welcome to part 9 in this beginner series. In this lesson we're going to paint this lighthouse scene. I will start by spraying my paints to activate them. Then I'm going to prepare my blue sky color. Today I'm going to do something that I rarely do, and that is to use the color white in my color mixing. I don't normally do this, and many paint sets don't even contain white in a watercolor set. The reason for that is that adding white to any color firstly does give it a pastel color, as you saw when I did the balloons in lesson 1, but adding white to watercolor does make it lose its transparency, so it becomes more opaque if you're painting it over something or something over it at a later stage. Normally, to do the bright blue sky that I'm going to do today, I would normally just really water down one of the blues in my palettes, such as a cobalt blue or a cerulean blue. Watering down a color will really lighten it up and would probably suffice to make a blue sky. But I find in this Mungyo set that even the cobalt blue, when watered down, is a darker shade of blue than I would like for this very bright blue sunny day that I'm going to paint in this painting. I also know that the sky is not being painted over anything, and also I'm not going to paint anything over it at the end, so therefore I'm happy to use the bit of white to make a light blue sky. I will then go and lay down this light blue color over the entire sky area. Whilst the sky is still wet, I'm going to get some tissue paper. I will bunch it up in a random way and then tap it over the sky and lift out some clouds. I find using tissue paper like this a very fun, quick and easy way to lift out some clouds. You will see that with the tissue paper, I dab a little bit and then I turn the tissue paper over. I do this firstly so that I don't put blue paint back down into the clouds that I'm creating, but also to keep the edge of the tissue paper irregularly shaped so that the clouds all have different shapes. Now I want to mix up two greens. I'm going to start with a lighter green, and for that I will start with a yellow-green base. Then I'm going to add some yellow ochre to that, just to tone it down a little. That makes a very nice light green base color. Now I want to make a darker contrast green, so for that I will start with a base of cadmium green light. To that I'm going to add some Van Dyke brown. That makes it a very nice dark brown. I think I'm going to add a touch of olive green to that first lighter green color, just to tone it down a little bit more. That's much better. Now I'm going to work on the green hills. I'm going to work almost wet and wet here, where I'm going to wet down the lighter green color and put that down in a very wet mix onto the furthest hill away from us. I will start by putting down a very watered down mix of the light green color over the entire back bank. I'm going to avoid the path area and so on, and so if I need to I'll use the smaller brush to work around the more intricate areas. Once I've got the light wash down, I will then pick up the lighter green in a thicker consistency and dot it around the bank to give it a little bit more texture, and so that it's not all painted one flat green color. Whilst that is still wet, I will add in the darker green color, wet and wet, on the bottom edge of the hill. Because I'm working wet and wet, these two colors are going to blend nicely into each other. Once I've got the darker green color down, I will just use my brush to encourage the two greens to blend. I will also use this darker green color that's already on my brush and use it to paint in the tree. colours in the bank are blending nicely now, but I think I can add a bit more contrast by adding some of the darker green into the bottom of the bank, just to create a better contrast between the dark and the light greens. It's going to blend less now that this layer is drying, and that's exactly what I want. Let me also use this darker green colour to do a bit of a shadow of the tree on the ground. I'm only working on the back bank at the moment because I want that nice dark area to stay separate from the front bank. So that's why I'm going to let it dry before I work on the front bank area. But whilst it's still wet, I'm going to keep on adding in the contrast colour until I'm happy with it. Then I'm going to let this layer dry before I work on the front bank. I'm now going to repeat the exact same process that I did for the rear bank for the front bank. I want to work on the sea now, so I want to mix up an aqua green sort of colour. So I will start with some cerulean blue, and then to that I will add some malachite green. That makes a nice green-blue colour. I'm going to start by making a very watered down solution of this, so really majority water on my brush, and fill that in over the ocean area. Once that very watered down base colour is down, I will use the same colour in a thicker consistency and work wet and wet to get a bit of texture to the ocean. I'm also going to be aware that I'm going to try and keep the ocean darker on the horizon and then lighten it as it comes towards me. That gives a feeling of perspective and does make the horizon appear further away. I'm now going to work on the red rings of the lighthouse, and to do that I'm going to mix up a very thick consistency mix of the permanent red, just a little bit of water, and I will use my size 0 brush for accuracy and start painting the rings on the lighthouse. Just make sure that your palm doesn't touch the ocean if it's still a little bit damp. I think I actually just forgot the bottom red ring on the lighthouse, so you can do it now if you want to. I'm just going to do it later. And I'm going to now mix up some burnt sienna and put that on the roof of the building next to the lighthouse. Then, using my small brush as well, I'm going to put some yellow ochre on the path. And then for the tree trunk, I think I'm going to mix up some olive brown and Van Dyke brown onto my brush. I'll use that for the tree trunk and then for the door and the chimney of the house. Now it's time to work on all the little bits and pieces. I want to work on the domed roof of the lighthouse now. I want to mix up a bluish grey, so I'm mixing together cobalt blue and burnt sienna. That makes a nice lightish bluish grey, so I'm going to put that on the roof. Maybe trying to get a little bit more colour on the left than to the right. Now I want the roof to cast a shadow on the area just immediately below, so I want to mix up a darker shadow colour. So I'm putting together some cerulean blue and light red, but I don't think that's quite dark enough for this dark cast shadow that I'm going to get. So I'm going to add a touch of black to that. I'm happy with that, and I'm just going to do a thin line of cast shadow underneath the roof. And I will use the same shadow color and put that in the windows as well. I want to mix up a cementish color for the base of the lighthouse, so I'm just going to add some Naples yellow to the shadow color that's already there. That makes a perfect cement sort of color, and I'm going to paint that in at the base. Now I'm just going to use some colors that are already pre-mixed on my palette. I will use this nice bright yellow for the larger sail. And then I think a nice bright red will offset that yellow nicely, so I will use the red on the smaller sail. I will add some Van Dyke brown to the shadow color that's on my palette and use that for the wooden base of the boat. Then I'm going to let that all dry before I finish the whole lot off. Now that that's dry, I'm going to do that final red ring on the lighthouse that I forgot in the previous layer. Then I think that the green hills have dried a little bit flat, so I'm going to put a water layer down first and then work wet and wet, and with the remaining color that's on my palette, I'm going to drop that in to try and get a varied consistency of the green color on the banks. I really think that adding this additional texture has created a lot more interest to the painting. I want to add some shadow to the one side of the little house to give it a three-dimensional look. So I'm going to add some cobalt blue to the shadow color and then just add that in on the right-hand side of the house. And then I will just take some Viridian and put that down for the jacket that the person in the boat is wearing. And there's the final sketch. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I will see you in Lesson 10. Until then, bye for now.